Hey, good morning, guys. All right, so we're going to take a break from night today, and I'm going to give you the guidelines and requirements for the final draft for the Wisdom Writer's Diary. Okay, all right. I'm sure that probably just stressed some of you out a little bit, and please know that that was not my intent. We are just at the end here, and things have to start coming together. All right, so. Um, Ideally, you've been doing the work all along, and you have submitted an introduction, gotten feedback, you have submitted diaries, gotten feedback, you have submitted a conclusion and gotten feedback and made revisions based on that feedback. All right. And so with that, we're going to start putting the final pieces together. All right. And I'm providing this first document as a guideline for your doing that. Okay. I will continue to emphasize that looking at last year's diary as an example is really good, a really good strategy here. So here's a link if you want to see how the kiddos did it last year. All right. But here is the basic structure of what your final is going to look like. You are not doing it on this piece of paper. All right. This is just a separate guideline for you to do that. You're actually going to do that on the next piece of paper that I'm going to talk about. But I just want to walk you through this fairly quickly here. So you will have a title. Your title will be your universal theme. So if your universal theme for your Wisdom Writer's Diary was loss, the title is loss. All right. Please do that. It should be centered at the top of the page, right? Below your title, you will have your name. All right. Please put by in your name. So like by Jill Johnson, right? Okay. That should be also centered and it should be right below, it should be below your title. Spacing is up to you. All right. Then you're going to have a quote. All right. And this is a quote from your own piece of writing. This is a new piece. All right. Or a new assignment. So I want you to look back through your writing and I want you to find a quote, something that you feel like is an important piece of wisdom that you can put at the top underneath where it says by your name. All right. And then put that in quotations. Again, looking at last year's examples would be a good step here. All right. Then it's just about copying and pasting after you do the quote. Please copy and paste your revised introduction below your quote. Please copy and paste your diary. Please copy and paste your conclusion. All right. So again, those of you who have been working all along, it's just a matter of making those final revisions, copying and pasting into the final document. And then down at the bottom is is a new addition here. It's about the author, and again, looking at last year's examples will give you a sense here. You're just going to provide a brief bio for yourself. Please no more than 100 words. All right. You decide what you want to share. It doesn't have to be super personal. Again, looking at last year's examples should help you out quite a bit here. And remember, importantly, it has to be written in third person. All right. So you won't be using I, my, or me in here. You'll be referring to yourself in the third person. So Jill Johnson is a student at Cheney High School. All right, so Jill is not talking about herself in the first person. She's talking about or presenting herself in the third person. All right, so those are the guidelines, kiddos. All right, this is the structure, this is the format, this is the organization for how things should look. And again, to kind of try to hammer it home here, last year's examples can be a very useful tool. All right, which then moves us over to here. This is where you're going to do all your publishing here. All right. So all the things that I just talked about, writing your title, writing your by Jill Johnson, providing your quote, copying and pasting, you're going to do all of that right here, please. Okay. Once you have done that, all right, then I want you to go back and I want you to make sure that you have proofread and corrected any proofread for and corrected any spelling, punctuation, capitalization, or sentence errors. All right, minimally. All right, I want there to be zero red or blue squiggly lines. All right, beneath any of your writing. So either you have to fix it or ignore it. Okay, and so like for example here, if I just get rid of this right here, oh, there's a red line. Oh, I'm not doing that one. That's not good. Moving on. Let's do this, okay? There's a red line there, all right? And then I shouldn't see that. And so you have to click on it. The cool thing is if you click on it, it generally gives you the right answer, all right? Boom. Now it's fixed, okay? And a lot of times for the blue ones, they give you options, all right, because there might be some stylistic choices that you want to make there, all right. But I want to know that you've at least addressed them, all right. No, um, I should see no blue or red squiggly lines in your final draft, okay? If you don't know how to fix it and you want to know how to fix it, then reach out to me, please, all right? Otherwise, just ignore, okay? But by ignore, you actually have to click ignore, kiddos, all right? So moving along here. Down below here, you're going to find a checklist, okay? And for these, I want you to answer either yes or no. If you answer no, I want you to explain, okay? So there are a series of questions here. Just write a simple yes, write a simple no. If it is a no, please explain why it's a no. All right. And then there are 4 reflection questions down here at the bottom. Okay. Reflect on the feedback response process for this project and review the feedback in your feedback journal. All right. If you haven't been keeping stuff in your feedback journal, then you're going to have to go back in to some of those comments. All right. To find or to look at the feedback because ultimately you have to copy and paste a piece of feedback that you got from me, not from someone else, but from me that was helpful to you in the process. And then you have to copy and paste it down here and then explain why or how it was helpful. All right. Reflect on the next one. Reflect on the process of this project. All right. What was the most challenging part and why? All right. Reflect on the product from this project. What do you think best reflects your ability as a writer and why? All right. So as you're looking at your product right now, the piece of writing that you have done, your final draft, all right, um, focus on a piece that you feel best reflects your ability as a writer right now. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be something maybe that you're kind of proud of, or that you feel like, hey, I kind of flexed my writer self here a little bit, my muscles. All right. And then finally, down at the bottom, reflect on yourself as a writer during this project. How did you grow as a writer? Okay. Um, this is this is the full process that you need to go through before you submit this, okay? And so with that, guys, I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna stop because we're running, or I've been running a long time here, and I don't want this to be too long. If you have questions, please reach out. All right. Um, and I know some of you are feeling probably overwhelmed right now. There's still time to get stuff done. There's still time to turn stuff in to get revision, but you got to work with me here, Chicos. All right. I can only do so much in a day, and so if you're going to start pursuing getting a higher grade in here, you're going to have to get some of this stuff done. All right. Or you're just simply not going to be able to provide enough convincing evidence to give yourself a high grade in here. All right. So with that, I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm just saying, hey, it's what it is at this point. All right. It's not too late, but if you're going to get going, you better get going because we're running out of time, these Chicos. All right. If you need help, if you have questions, please reach out. Happy Tuesday.